Welcome back. Today, we're off to the Speakeasy.
Yes, so good.
Enzo's Hideaway, the Tunnel Bar, Disney Springs, themed on a speakeasy. We'll talk more about it, but it's about the rum runners during 1920s, 1930s Prohibition here at the town of Disney Springs. But Karen claims that she knows of some drink or some drink flight that we just have to have.
Have to have it.
So we're off to the Speakeasy today. Let's see what this flight is all about. I have no idea what it is, but Karen's convinced
You'll be
we
surprised.
have to have it. All right, let's go. Okay, what did you get us into?
I got us into a couple of holiday drink flights.
Holiday drink flights.
Yes. Don't they look amazing?
We each have our own.
Yes, because I didn't want to share.
And I assume these are samples of
Regular
holiday cocktails.
correct.
You can get
Yep.
can get the full size for. And explain what the three are.
So we have a pumpkin spice mudslide. We have an apple cider aperol spritz, which I'm super excited about. I've never had an aperol spritz before, so I'm super excited to try it. And then a smoked maple old fashioned.
We're fans of an old fashioned. So.
Now the bartender told us that most people are starting with the aperol spritz, then going to the old fashioned, and then saving the pumpkin spice mudslide for last.
For dessert.
It does look like dessert.
Well, I'm going to follow your lead.
Okay,
So
you ready?
we're going in.
Aperol spritz, starting in the middle.
Apple cider Aperol spritz.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's got a rim on it.
It's got a cinnamon sugar rim, which is not usually my thing, but I figured we'll just get it as they make it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Pretty light.
Aperol, spiced apple cider, Prosecco, club soda.
I was going to say, so it's just the cinnamon rim, because I didn't get a lot of cinnamon.
Very refreshing.
It's pretty light. I was expecting a little more of a bite or a little more of a punch, but
I like it though.
a little sweet.
I'm wiping some of the cinnamon sugar off, because as you know, I'm not a giant fan
Karen's wiping some of the rim off.
of the bread. It's just messy. I like it. I would order it again.
Would you have it as a full-size cocktail?
I think so, without the rim. Would you?
Maybe once. Like it wouldn't be a repeat, but having one. And these are, what are these pours? Like 2 ounce
2
pours?
ounce pours. Little teeny tiny drinks. Just enough to sample.
Are you going to finish one or are you going to move on?
I
and
don't
try?
know. What do you think? I was thinking of just moving on to the next one.
And then coming back around?
And then coming back around.
How do you do a flight?
Because if you remember correctly, the last time we did a flight, the Witch's Flight, remember? At Jock Lindsay's.
The one we thought was going to be our favorite was not our favorite.
Correct. Once we tried them all.
But you're going to finish them all regardless.
I know.
It's okay. We'll work our way through.
I know.
So you're saying we're going off to the
We're going off to
Maple
the
Old
Maple Old
Fashioned.
Fashioned. Yes.
And it's Knob Creek, which we like. So Knob
Oh my
Creek
God.
bourbon.
It smells like smoky
It's
and mapley.
actually Knob Creek smoked maple bourbon, club soda, bitters, maraschino cherry, and an orange peel.
Cheers.
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 Ooh, it smells
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It smells exactly as described.
Oh, yes.
That is delicious.
Yeah,
Oh, the
so
old-
good. The old fashioned is delicious.
Smoked maple old fashioned. How can you go wrong, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I get
All
the cherry?
day.
I don't know if I get any cherry in there.
Oh, I do. This is our jam.
Out of cherry, smoked maple. Maple's the headliner, which is the maple is supposed to be the bourbon. So again, it's the bitters, the club soda, the cherry,
so good.
the orange peel are just added.
Love
so
it.
they're not the prominent players, but that maple flavor is crazy.
my favorite. I'm already calling it.
You haven't even tried the
I know, it
pumpkin
doesn't
spice
matter.
mudslide.
It looks like, this one looks like we should use a spoon. Look how cute that is. And I feel like we need a spoon for it.
Just go
No?
through the whip, just go right through the whipped cream.
Okay, here we go.
Cheers.
Pumpkin spice mudslide.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice.
That falls in the dessert category.
I know, but
It
it's
is
really
pretty
good.
It's got Bailey's,
Really
Bailey's and
good.
Tito's in it,
Yeah.
and Kahlua. So it's Bailey's, Tito's, topped with
Can you
Kahlua.
see my eyes lighting up? This
with
is so much
whipped
better
cream.
than I thought it was going to
This
be.
is
Whew,
wow.
right? And you like it? Because you're not a big fan of pumpkin.
I don't get much pumpkin. I get
think
maybe a touch of pumpkin. I get
Yeah,
mostly.
I think the only pumpkin is the syrup that they put on the top.
I'm getting Bailey's and whipped cream.
It's so
How can you
good.
not like that?
It's so good. This whole flight is a keeper, I feel like. And I'm not going to pick a favorite because they're all very different in their own right that you can't really compare them. They're three
We always say we're
completely
not. Or
different
you always say
things.
the rules are we're not picking a favorite,
Not
and then
picking
we
a
always
favorite.
do.
I'm not picking a favorite. I like them all.
Okay.
Are you picking a favorite? Well, you skipped over the aperol and went right back to the old fashioned.
I'm going to sample them in the order that I think I rate them.
I'm
so
not
my
rating them.
top pick would be the maple old fashioned. My number 2, which is way outside of my norm, anything like
I know.
desserty,
I'm shocked
sweet,
that he
and
likes
creamy.
this one.
But
Shocked.
number 2 is going to be the pumpkin spice mudslide.
That's a shocker.
Followed by the apple cider aperol spritz.
I feel like there are 3 very different things that all have their place at different times, you know?
And you're
And-
going
and
with a
so
three.
that's
you're
why
going
I'm
with
not-
You're going with a 3-way tie.
I'm not choosing. Like I've said before, it's like choosing a favorite kid. You love them all different. Right?
I ranked them. I had a favorite drink.
This was
So no rankings, but if
Yeah.
you were forced to get a full size of one of these 3 right now,
Old-fashioned.
the old fashioned.
well because it's an old fashioned, right? Like it's a go-to for us.
There you go. You make your way to Enzo's Speakeasy, Hideaway, Tunnel Bar. While they still have this is a temporary thing. It's
I
their
believe it's
seasonal.
just for the month of November.
They probably have these as seasonal cocktails, but you can get a flight to sample them. Check it out.
Cheers.
Flights are finished.
Flights were good.
So a little follow up
Because we couldn't just leave.
because we couldn't just leave.
So bad. So bad.
2 rye Manhattans,
Yes. His and
straight up
hers.
and on the rocks. Because as the ice melts, I get more. Cheers.
So weird.
That rye spice.
The bite is so good.
Usually we do the
Thank you.
Knob Creek. This is the Whistle Pig small batch rye 10-year.
Yummy.
It's got some bite to it.
It's really nice.
And by really nice, you mean it grabs you right in the
Right
throat.
there, right where it's supposed to. Yep, love it.
So Enzo's is a speakeasy. It's called the Tunnel Bar. And the theming, the backstory is that above us is Maria and Enzo's, or Enzo's and Maria's.
Maria and Enzo's.
Maria and Enzo's. The story is that Maria and Enzo come to Disney Springs in Florida. They bring their Italian cuisine. They open a restaurant. I think they start with like a pizza window, which there's actually the pizza place.
Ponte, I think it's called.
And then they open a restaurant, Italian food, in what was the Disney Springs Air Terminal. So it was empty, no longer used. So it's themed on an air terminal. And then Enzo, when they're either renovating or building out the restaurant, discovers these tunnels below the restaurant,
Underneath, yeah.
which were used. That he discovers were used by rum runners, or what was known as the flying rum runners. So bootlegging during the 1920s, early 1930s, during Prohibition, and that's why these are they're tunnels that lead to what was the abandoned power plant at the time. Of course, the abandoned power plant is now what is the Edison.
So cool.
Makes sense. The Edison is
Right.
what was the Disney Springs power plant. So these were tunnels. There's graffiti and log books and books that have all the code names for the rum runners. And actually, Florida does have a pretty good history, or a big history, of rum running. Actually, I think the term rum running stemmed from Florida.
Really?
So during
I had no idea.
Well, during Prohibition, a lot of the states, bootlegging was people making their own moonshine or alcohol.
Yep.
But because of Florida's location, they had the ability to run rum from Cuba, from Bimini Island in the
good
Bahamas.
point.
So
Yeah.
from Bimini, which was right off the coast of Florida, they would run rum into Florida, which would then be distributed up and down the East Coast. So rum running was prevalent in Florida. And so these the tunnels that we're in right now were used by the rum runners. And there's bottles and casks and...
But then when you know the story, you're like, oh, of course there's graffiti.
And in the
on
true
walls.
story,
Makes
in the
perfect
true
sense.
theme of a speakeasy, the doors aren't really marked. And so, for instance, you can go to
So
the end of
cool.
Enzo's, almost cut through one of the booths,
You do cut through.
and there's an unmarked door around the corner. If you go through that unmarked door, you're now walking in. Well, there's a little corridor, and you
Yes.
go through this other metal door, and you're in the Edison. Same
It's
thing.
amazing.
Same thing from the other side. If you're in the Edison and you go down by the restrooms, there's this door that's just there. If
And you
were-
pop in here,
and
and,
if you were-
it's like this
and
big
if-
family dining table, and you just kind of walk
Right.
through. It's
So
like,
if you
oh, hello.
come down the Edison when you're at the restrooms, if you were just to say, I'm going to open that door that doesn't say anything,
Do it.
and then you're in a hallway, if you were brave enough to just walk through that
Just do
hallway,
it. It's so cool.
and then when you get to the other end, you're going to open that, and you're going to be almost on top of people in a booth, and you'll be in Enzo's Hideaway. So if you come to Enzo's Hideaway and don't get the holiday cocktail sampler, go with the Whistle Pig Rye Manhattan. Can't
Get
go
it
wrong.
straight up.
Get it on the rocks.
Get it straight up.
Get it on the rocks.
Don't listen to him.
Don't listen to her.